Welcome, friends. It's time to elevate and thrive. And on today's show, we are going to explore one of the treatments that we are insanely excited about here at the clinic, and that is Potenza super-powered microneedling. It's incredible.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so cool. Now, we've been geeking out about this, and if you follow us on our TV show, SGTV, exclusively on YouTube, you might have caught the Potenza episode because we've talked a little bit about this, and lots more that is coming out on Potenza because it's something that we're really excited about and invested in this year. It's one of our big major focuses.
That's right. Yeah, we're moving more into cosmetic, which I'm super excited about because I feel like it's an area where, we at the clinic, we really focus on like underlying deep wellness, healing, regeneration. And this is a way to also reflect that on the outside where people, I feel like when you feel really good about how you look, and that also reflects, that's how you carry yourself within the day.
Absolutely. I mean, a big part of rejuvenation and vitality, right, is how we look.
Yeah.
For sure it is. And so it's not just a cosmetic thing. I think that sometimes that topic can get poo-pooed on people a little bit. But I mean, at the end of the day, if we have the technology and the science to kind of improve as we age, why not use it? That's what I say.
I agree.
Right?
I know it's funny. My dermatologist actually likes to tell me a lot about like the different therapies, Botox, all of that. And this is definitely not Botox, but saying, that it increases, like there have been studies and research that it increases, like your feeling of wellness and lessens depression when you feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
And,
that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
but before we go too far into our own experiences, because today we want to kind of bring Potenza to life for you a little bit, maybe real quick for anyone who doesn't know what Potenza is, or, and they've stuck with us for the last 2 minutes while we talk about Potenza, and they're like, well, what is this Potenza? Now I'm all excited about it. What is it? So what is Potenza? What are we talking about?
Yes. So it is a microneedling device that actually goes deeper into the layers of the skin that includes radio frequency. And so what that means essentially is that when those microneedles enter the skin and then it vibrates with that radio frequency, it significantly increases the amount of collagen and elastin that is made. And so why that's significant is because we lose collagen as we age. And so what this does is, if you could see like a diagram of it, like the percentage of collagen fibers just goes through the roof. And so you get like tightening and, the treatment of things like the deeper wrinkles or even the surface wrinkles, that goes away because it just tightens right up and fills in basically with collagen.
Right. So, I mean, collagen essentially is kind of firming, smoothing, right? So as we age, right, that kind of naturally decreases. That leads to wrinkles. That leads to, skin that might not be as kind of tight and vibrant and as kind of youthful looking maybe as it once was, deepening wrinkles, right? So this penetrates into the skin and stimulates the kind of production of collagen, helping to restore some of that.
Yes, yeah. And I don't know if this is the time to mention it, but that is increased actually if we add something which we can here, like PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma. So that's your own blood that acts like, when you activate them, it acts like stem cells. Or we can do actually like amniotic stem cells too the Potenza will like drive that in. We have a specialized needle that will actually take it and drive it deep into your skin. And so
I know this specialized needle. I experienced it personally. Yeah, so it's cool. So by itself, it's like a supercharged, super powerful microneedling process that's way more effective than microneedling.
Absolutely.
But similar if you've ever had microneedling done.
Yes.
And if you haven't, it's, again, same kind of thing. It's there to stimulate collagen, smooth the skin, de-wrinkleize us. But here it's cool because we can combine it with other therapies that we know have amazing rejuvenative abilities, rejuvenating powers, like PRP and stem cells.
Right. Yes, absolutely. So it makes it a much more powerful treatment, like if we can get both of those on board. Although the Potenza by itself the results typically that you see if you're looking out like at, social media and you're looking at Potenza and Kim Kardashian, a lot of what they're doing is just with Potenza. They're not even adding that extra layer of goodness.
They're not even taking it to that next level.
They're not taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of room there, to really enhance the skin, and in all different areas. So
so it's not just a facial thing, right? We can use this in different parts of the body.
Yes. So a lot of, I would say, well, this could be men and women. So beyond the face, you can do, the neck is really popular for people, just to kind of firm up that skin that starts to kind of change a little bit as we age, tighten it up, as well as like the décolletage, so getting
the upper chest area.
The upper chest, like lifting and raising, and then also back of the arms is actually really popular, and then the top of knees and the belly. So the belly
and sides kind of area?
Yeah, you can really do any part of the body. I think what's probably most popular for women is kind of, post-baby, or like after just significant weight loss. Yeah,
so that would be an application for men or women is that, you've gained a certain amount of weight. There's maybe been some skin stretching, and now there's an excess of skin. Yes. So this would be an alternative then as that weight comes off and you still have what feels like excess skin. This would be a way to kind of help tighten that up some, maybe as an alternative to something like a tummy tuck or some of those surgical procedures.
Yeah, I think, sometimes certainly people do tummy tucks for all different kinds of reasons. But, if somebody has a lot, say if they had a lot of skin, they've lost a couple 100 pounds, maybe this wouldn't necessarily be the treatment that's going to take care of that. But again, absolutely for, again, after you've had children and that skin is lagging or
some moderate weight loss then over time and then aging combined with aging. And this is like a great option for that as well.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk a little bit just about our experiences, and I want to hear kind of how it was for you, and I want to share how it was for me because, I hadn't had a lot of microneedling done before, or had really much experience just with facial rejuvenation technologies, or even, and let's be frank, I'm not even going and getting facials or whatever on a regular basis.
You are,
okay, I'm not. I should be, but I'm not. I haven't. So this was really exciting, new, and I was also a little nervous coming into it just because I hadn't experienced it that much. Yeah. But you, on the other hand, you probably had a little more experience with it.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear kind of, what was your impression of it and kind of post
compared to other types of microneedling and PRP facials. Yeah. So I've done both of those, and Heather had, all types of facials. And so I would say it was a really good experience. It was intense in the way of you could feel it working, which was kind of exciting. It's like you knew something was happening whenever you're getting the treatment, right? And you're numbed up completely beforehand. So it wasn't a you feel like it's working because you're in pain, nothing like that, but you could feel the needles working, you can kind of feel the heat, and the warmth sensation in the area when you're going over the skin, you're really on that part of the skin just for a second or less, so actually in any individual area, it's pretty fast. So it felt, it was a good experience. And at the end, I definitely felt like I had a good treatment, like I was like, oh boy, this is going to work. And then so technically, you can have one treatment, but the recommendation is to have a few.
It's 3, right? It's generally speaking.
3 is the general recommendation, to kind of get the optimal results. But I feel like even I've had a lighter one and I've had a more intensive one. And I saw change after both of them, but definitely after the more, the stronger one, because we can set it at different levels. We can make it a lighter treatment, And
for some people, maybe they would make that progression, kind of start off a little bit lighter for the first one and then increase the intensity and the impact on the second and third.
Exactly. Yeah, because you can
get used to it. If you haven't had it done like anything, you can have just a little bit of that nervousness or just not knowing what to expect, and then going through it and being like, oh, this was really easy and great, and I can feel it. And if you can increase the results by increasing a little bit of the intensity, then please, by all means, increase.
Yeah, which I will be doing on my next one as well.
Me too.
I felt like it was. I felt like things have smoothed out. I definitely have wrinkles, which is fine, but I feel like my skin is changing in a positive way, which is exciting. So
you've gotten some compliments since
I know.
Unsolicited.
Yes,
you've kind of been tallying, kind of keeping track a little bit of, oh, you're looking so glowing today, or you look so. You probably have like a little black book. You write down every
and
compliment
then I
that
read
you
them
get.
before bed.
Just read it to yourself. It's a good affirmation, self-care.
I just add it to
I
my
think
list.
that's a good idea.
I
think that's great.
Today. Yes, I am.
Yeah, I mean, I would mirror a lot of what you said. So my instructions basically were to not take aspirin or kind of blood thinner or whatever style stuff the night before.
For
24 hours, and not that I typically take that anyways, but very easy to abstain from that. And then
drink alcohol. No, technically the recommendation you can, but it's recommended that because it thins blood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had the PRP version done. So I had the Potenza Microneedling plus the PRP with the special tip.
Yep.
So I came in earlier that day and got a blood draw very quick, and then that blood got spun up in the PRP machine to turn it into the magic PRP. And then I came back later in the afternoon for my facial, and of course I had to be clean shaven as a guy. So if you're sporting the facial hair, you need to get rid of it.
Or we can work around
and
it.
clean face, right?
It.
I mean, you had some facial cleansers and stuff here too, but I came in freshly clean. But you're going to want to come in obviously without foundation, makeup, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, mascara is fine.
Right, because we're not going to do the eyeball. So then there was a numbing process, and that was about 25, 30 minutes.
It takes like 25 minutes, at least,
And that was a thick kind of numbing cream that went on, and then wiped that off.
Right.
And then we got right into it. And treatment was about probably 45 minutes.
Probably
30,
with your
35.
Maybe it was like almost an hour.
Almost
for
an hour,
you,
It felt like with the PRP, it's a little bit longer.
Yeah, it takes a little longer
because there's an added step where you're essentially putting the PRP on the skin, because it's a liquid, and then the Potenza is then kind of pulls that up, and then the needles kind of drive it in. It has like a little bit of a kind of a suction and push.
Which you had mentioned that you noticed that.
I mean, it just you could kind of hear it a little bit. Yeah, there's like a little bit of a little in draw, and then the needles would push it in.
Yeah.
And I found it to be very, very mild. So I did not feel it to be like a painful thing. But it did remind me a little bit of getting, a massage, like where you're getting in there and it's kind of deep, where that you kind of feel like, ooh, man, something's going on here, right? So it wasn't like it was painful, but I would also say I felt like something was happening. Like you could feel kind of the heat in your skin, and you could kind of it almost. I know I couldn't feel the collagen being created, but it almost felt like I could. I mean, it felt like, whoa, something's happening. My skin's rejuvenating right now. And then afterwards, so it was great. I mean, and I do relatively well with those kinds of things, but I would recommend it for anybody. I would say it wasn't like the numbing cream made it very painless.
It really helps quite a bit,
Yeah, I mean, you're still there's a machine that has like little needles that are sticking into your face, but it's so if you're like a no needle person ever, then maybe not.
Might
but
not
it's
be
not.
The choice for you.
Yeah, but it wasn't intense. It wasn't too intense rather. I mean, it was again, something was happening, but it was good. And then like afterwards, I was pretty low key. So I would also say that I don't think it's. One time I had gotten microneedling. So I had microneedling one other time, but it was not with the Potenza machine. It was just regular microneedling. And I actually did go out and meet some people for dinner later that night. And I had told them my face might be bloody. I don't really know. I might look disfigured or weird, Freddy Krueger face, but I'm going to come out and meet you guys anyways. And I was totally fine.
Yeah.
There is no way I could have done that after the Potenza. I was very much like, okay, I just want to relax. I want to sit down, drink some water, have some tea, and just be relatively mellow.
I will say that so whenever we're healing, I mean, the body has to pull resources, right? So, and I think that your experience, which is also what I experienced as well as the staff that have done it here, which is pretty much everybody, that everybody felt like they needed some recovery time, even if it was just, it just felt like you needed a little time to just relax. And the other thing that we did, I don't know if you remember for you too, is that, and I would recommend this, it's not absolutely necessary, but we think doing like a little IV of glutathione which is a super antioxidant that we love using for a whole lot of other purposes, but really helps with just, movement of anything that's released. And so we're always going to store, we store chemicals, we store heavy metals, we store, all the things we're exposed to. It goes everywhere. And so that includes our skin, right? So when you have a very active disruption and push, you're going to have some detoxing, you're going to have some release, and then we're pushing and driving, repair and, all of this collagen formation and elastin formation. So your body is like, okay, I could use a little extra energy to take care of this. So we all found that it was helpful to do that antioxidant, so I would recommend that actually for people.
Thank you. I forgot that we did do that. And I'm always a huge fan of when we do the glutathione. So I would 100% agree with that.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next day, I had a little bit of redness, but it really was completely fine. I mean, I thought that it was much less than just traditional microneedling, even though I felt like the experience was overall more effective, more intense. I really felt like it was doing more.
Yes.
And absolutely, as that week and into that next week went by, I definitely felt like my skin had, vibrancy, definitely had some more of that kind of tightness, and it looked great. It definitely felt and looked great. So I'm looking forward to my next treatment, which is coming up in just a week or two.
I think next week. Yeah.
I think it's next week.
Yeah.
So depending on when this podcast drops, I will have already had my second treatment.
Yeah,
so
I think we should do some updates. Like even if it's just a post, we'll see. Like,
absolutely,
we'll be posting.
We will continue to update because I really want to be able to share what it's like going through a round of three with the PRP.
Right.
That whole experience, both from being kind of a little bit nervous about it to realizing, this is very doable, and to making all my friends and stuff jealous because I was getting this cool thing done and they weren't, so they were very excited. They wanted to hear how my experience was because a lot of people were, they were like, maybe I want to check this out as well. And so, so updates to come on that. But if you've done microneedling in the past or skin rejuvenation is something that you're interested in, especially when you're looking at kind of a natural process. I mean, this is a way to really tap into your body's self-healing capacities and self-restoration capacities.
Absolutely.
This is a really cool technology.
I really love it. I'm super excited that we have it on board, and I feel like the potential of what you can do we didn't talk about other things beyond wrinkles and skin tightening. Like you can also address acne or long-term acne scars. It will actually start to smooth those out and bring in new, fresh skin, which is pretty exciting. You can also do scars as well. And actually there is a needle tip that is, if somebody has, say, a large kind of cystic or large like acne scar or something like that, that you can pull that tip out and just use it very deeply.
Very localized.
Very localized, yeah. So you can actually take care of those for people as well, which is exciting. So, and then any other, skin damage from sun, things like that. It will start
it helps with
that.
because it helps with some discolorations as well, right?
Does,
and some of those skin spots. Yeah,
which is again that skin patches of skin.
Yeah, if you look at darker
happens.
spot or whatever.
Yeah, it'll start resolving that as well. So that's also exciting.
That's really exciting, and it's a great alternative to say some of the laser-like experiences out there that have a really long heal time. Because I know there's some different laser resurfacing technologies that are out there that can produce, kind of do similar stuff and similar kind of treatment pack. Typically in 2 to 3 treatments. But I know some of those, especially some of the older technology, requires pretty like a long downtime.
You're down for like a week.
Like a week,
10 days.
like not going out in public,
not
basically.
letting anybody see your face.
No sun, because it's basically your skin looks like it burned off.
That's it. Actually, a colleague of ours, was just talking about that for the particular laser treatment she's going to be going for, it's going to be a week for sure, and it is like your skin just sloughs off, and so it's
getting your skin burned off your face. I mean, that's what the laser's doing. It's burning the skin off your face. So if you want an alternative to that, we got you.
Yeah, that's right. Come on.
Yeah, so really excited. We're going to begin to officially offer that here at the clinic in March. So again, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, most likely we are live, and have a number of different specials and cool things going on with the Potenza to get people into it to try out and check out. So if you're interested, by all means, ask any one of the providers, anybody here, or call in for a consultation. And we can absolutely talk about if it's a fit for you.
Yeah, and we do offer a free consultation, a 15-minute consultation on this one. If you really want to, do Zoom, or please come in, and to have us take a look at your skin. So, and you can book that online as well.
Awesome. Oh, that's so exciting. You book that online now, too.
Yes.
Just making it so easy for everybody to achieve their dreams of health, happiness, and rejuvenated skin here at the clinic.
That's the goal.
Excellent. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next show. Until next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.